Susie, obviously a disappointing result in the end. Just sum up your thoughts on that performance.
Disappointed, definitely. Not hugely surprised, but the disappointment comes from giving ourselves opportunities for scores and then not converting those opportunities. And you can't convert this, especially against a side like Gloucester-Hartpury.
When you mentioned obviously the fact that Gloucester-Hartpury more clinical, I mean, was that really where the game was decided in the end?
Yeah, 100%. They took their opportunities very, very well. They took points when they were on offer. So Emma Singh was kicking the goals really well. That's the difference between them scoring a bonus point, a four points, and us not getting a losing bonus point. So there's learnings to come out of it, and the important thing is that we do learn from days like today.
And obviously they had a lot more experience on show. Obviously Scrum half, obviously Mohan in England International made a big difference for them. Obviously you had a very young squad out there. How proud are you of what they showed, especially at the end, fighting back with 2 late scores?
Yeah, well, I think it shows what we can do and what we're capable of, but the frustrating thing is in the middle is that we didn't do it. But you're right, very young, Sophie and Danny in the centre field for the first time, age 18. God, what an experience for them playing at Sandy Park. That's probably what dreams are made of. And it's come on the first game of the season. So, and then to be able to bring Gabby Cantona on, who makes a big difference as an international coming back. But it's important that those kind of players get that exposure and they learn, and we all learn together. Because in a year or 2 years' time, they're the front runners in our squad. So, as I said, the overrounding. Riding thing is disappointment, but as I said, it's sport, and you lose games, and then it's what you do next.
Indeed, and obviously the scrum was an area that wasn't going particularly well, especially in the first half, and obviously you brought off Abby Middlebrook just before half time. How did you see that particular area of the game? Because it has been an area which has been going really well during the Allianz Cup games.
Yeah, you're asking the wrong person. I'm not a scrum coach. You'll have to ask Steve about that.
Indeed, okay. Well, obviously moving on to next weekend, perfect opportunity to bounce back against Darlington, Moden Park, long trip up there. What are your thoughts heading into that one?
Well, you just said it, bounce back, get some training continuity into us this week. Claudia McDonald only joined us on Thursday. She had one session, she didn't go on the field. Gabby Cantona was back. She hasn't trained this week, so we had to make some changes late in the week. So we need a good training week, and we need to go to Darlington and put a good performance on. And I'm not talking about scorelines, I'm talking about good, confident performances for the individuals and the squad. And then, as I said, it will bring us back to Worcester in 2 weeks' time at home.
And you mentioned Gabby Cantona being back. Obviously all the World Cup players now back, but only Gabby Cantona and Abby Fleming actually involved in the 23 this afternoon. And you mentioned when we last spoke after the last Allianz Cup game against Harlequins, obviously it'd be a challenge reintegrating everyone from the World Cup back into the squad. How has that been so far, and how do you see that moving forward?
Well, we haven't had it yet. Abby's been back a week. Gabs came back but hasn't really trained, so in the next 2 weeks we'll get all our World Cup players, and that'll be people returning but also new players. So the challenge then is how to integrate those players, who's going to play when, to maintain continuity on the disappointment of today, that we improve. So how do you improve? You can't chuck new players into the mix necessarily. You can definitely reintegrate those returning players, but next week's a different story. So I'll answer the questions next week on how they're all going to be integrated.
Indeed, and obviously the most high profile, the new signings, Claudia McDonald obviously coming back after disappointment to losing the World Cup final. But how crucial will her versatility be going forward through the season?
It's a good question. I'm not sure. I think England want us to focus on her as a scrum half. That's as I understand it, but we haven't had those specific conversations. Claude's a wonderful player. She'll be integrated when it's right for her. I don't know when that's going to be, but she's so versatile, so talented. But not just her. There's other wonderful players that are coming back in. So it's going to be an exciting season. They're a disappointing start, but we're going to have an exciting season.
And finally, I've got to mention the crowd this afternoon. Over 1,000 of them here for today's game. They're just so crucial to this squad, aren't they? And they just love playing in front of them.
They're absolutely amazing, and I'm always disappointed for them when we don't perform well, and we didn't today. But at the same time, they keep coming back because they're enjoying it, and the players are loving having them here. So Yeah, I'm really grateful to everyone. I always say thank you to them all. So it's it's brilliant that they're coming, and that will continue, I hope, and we'll get bigger and bigger crowds. On the back of the World Cup, more women and girls and boys are playing the game, and that's the critical bit around here, or coming to watch, or getting involved. So I think the legacy that's coming out of the World Cup is huge, and the fact that more people are coming here because the word is spreading is super exciting.
Thanks very much for your time, Susie.
You're welcome.